Hello people, I am Jaby KOAY, joined by Achara KIRK.
Hello.
Today we are looking at Dice Media's What the Folks Season 3 web series, the official trailer. Now, obviously this has been out for a little bit now, but we have not seen anything on this yet whatsoever, so it's brand new to us, and we are very much looking forward to doing reactions on the show itself. We'll get Alize back in the house, along with Achara and the Jabs. We'll all hang out and look at the newest season of the show.
I feel like we only just watched season 2 as well. Like it's come by really quickly.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
So here we go. Let's check this out.
Creep.
Who we're gonna meet this year. They're gonna
तबीयत
come
कैसी है
together.
भाई साहब की? फिलहाल फर्स्ट स्टेज ही है. अब ये 2 साल फर्स्ट स्टेज ही रहेगा.
किरण भाई, ए किरण भाई.
फाइनली मेरा प्रमोशन भी हो गया है और निखिल का स्टार्टअप इतना बढ़िया चल रहा है. Things are coming together.
मेरे से इतनी सिंपल चीजें नहीं हैंडल हो रही हैं. मैं आगे जाके क्या करूंगी?
Normally my cycles are always on time.
कुछ लेके आओ. एलोवेरा, अदरक.
Nikhil, I need a pregnancy test, not aloe vera. Stop giving me these WhatsApp solutions. I'm really freaking out right now.
नीता से बात करेंगे.
तुम दोनों के फ्यूचर के बारे में, तुम्हें बच्चे चाहिए नहीं चाहिए.
आगे जाकर तुम दोनों ही बहुत अकेला महसूस करोगे.
अगर हमें कंपनी चाहिए तो हम कुत्ता अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, that's what a lot of women do in LA.
कुत्ते के साथ कंपेयर कर रहे हो?
इनको तो सब कुछ मजाक ही लगता है.
हम दोनों की लाइफ, हमारा डिसीजन है, हमारा बच्चा है, हमारा फ्यूचर है. बात करते हैं. और अगर हम कुछ डिसाइड करेंगे ना, आपको इन्फॉर्म कर देंगे.
Are you freaking kidding me? We go through everything together. साथ में.
ओके गाइस, अब सब लाइन पे हैं. हाँ
सब
हाँ. पापा, मम्मा, सुधांशु, अनीता, निखिल.
क्या है? जोर से बोलो ना. जय माता दी. सारे बोलो जय माता दी.
I don't know what I'm gonna do in there, but
Oh, are they gonna tell everyone that they're pregnant?
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, that makes
Maybe.
sense. No, that makes sense. That's a good guess. That was
Yeah.
a good guess. Outside of the ending confusing me, I think that this is fixing to be probably the most interesting season.
Yes, I agree.
Because there's just so many elements at play.
And I feel like the elements at play in this season are very relatable.
Yeah.
Or well, at least to me, because like there was topics that came up in there, and I'm like, 100% I have had those conversations with my friends and family.
I feel like every season has been relatable in its own way, but this one is just not just a confluence of the previous 2 seasons, but it's also adding on things that they haven't experienced before that I don't think has been explored a lot, particularly his Alzheimer's that he's experiencing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been explored a lot in web series. Like web series and the way it's being done in India is very different from the States. India, in my opinion, is like leading that front because America doesn't do that. Like I guess we've just turned to Netflix and Hulu and those services.
You
like
could argue that those are web series, but they are more like normal television programming in the way that they're done.
I think there's a delineation there because, like you just said, that's just replaced TV for a lot of people.
Right.
Whereas in India, there's a distinction because TV means a different thing in India.
Right.
It caters to a totally different audience.
Yeah.
Whereas web series caters to, you know, a cooler audience. I don't know.
Younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you know, people who are interested in stuff that's not just for, you know,
soap operas like my mom watches.
Exactly. That being said, you know, given the youthfulness of web series in India, this has yet to be explored, in my opinion, based on what we've seen so far. That particular topic of dealing with your parents having an illness like that. And how you struggle with not just that, but also the coming of a baby at the same time. That's a big ordeal to deal with someone who's basically losing their mind and a life coming into the world in the same breath. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And how do you emotionally, you know, deal with all of that? On top of all the other normal family stuff that's happening at the same time. You got a lot of chess pieces, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But it's nice because they've set it up so well, because in season 1 we learned about her family.
Right.
And then in season season 2, we learned about his family, and then in season 3, it's all coming together. And, you know, for a minute there, I thought with the father's Alzheimer's, I was like, are they gonna make Alzheimer's funny? Can you do that? I mean, if you can, more power to you. But I love that it's being explored at all, like you said. And I was actually really touched with the little scene they showed with the dad and the mom and their little, like, moment where they were holding each other. And I love seeing that in any content because I feel like so much content is very much geared towards a certain age group. You know, and I love it when it's just kind of broadened and it's like, yeah, there are interesting stories to tell about people in their 50s and over.
Yeah. You know, there's something, it's going to feel like a off-topic kind of thing, but there's something that India does that America doesn't do with their trailers, and it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it kind of is to me, which is India tends to give credit in their trailer descriptions for the actors involved, the directors, the producers, all the writers, and etc. They give detailed descriptions, much more detailed than what you'll find for American stuff. Like the other day, I was looking at we were doing the Star Wars trailer reaction, which is on Get Jaby, the American channel, and there is no information at all about anybody who's involved in the movie. As far as I can remember, it was just like the movie and the release date, that's it. And I clicked on here, and it shows you just how many people worked to bring this thing to life. I mean, look at that. I have to scroll for a while to get through all that. You guys can do it yourself. There's a link in the description for the original upload. But like, it's like, 10 scrolls for me to get to the bottom of all the people, including the catering. So
shout out to the food.
Sri Swami caterers. I really appreciate the thoroughness of the description and how they brought everybody into the credits over here. That's
because you forget that so many people are involved in the creation of any piece of content, really, especially a web series or a movie or anything like that. There's so many people.
Especially for web series. See, I come from like the old school web series thing where it was just like a couple of,
it's like 5 people.
Schmucks with cameras and, like you're just trying to make it work. And so you had a couple of people, even if you look at Will Ferrell's early stuff with College Humor or whatever those
Funny
videos.
or Die.
Funny or Die, where he was like acting opposite of his daughter. That was like a guy with a camera and that was it. Like it wasn't a whole crew. This is like the level of production that you'd bring to a feature film.
Yes.
And so you gotta shut that out and appreciate it. That's pretty darn cool that they're giving it that much heart and effort, to give you the best thing possible.
I know, I'm so excited for the topics being discussed. Like, I want to bring it back to that because I literally had that same conversation with a good friend of mine where she was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to have any kids, but maybe I should because who's going to take care of me when I'm older? I'm like, yeah, fair point. And then also the thing where my sister just got a dog.
Yeah.
And
that came up.
Yeah, and then my dad was like, shall I send her this article that says that more and more millennials are getting pets instead of children? Will that piss her off? I'm like, I don't know.
It is a thing, and I don't know that that's the best thing that could happen because, like your friend said, a dog can't take care of you the way a child can eventually take care of you. Assuming everything works out in your favor.
Yes.
It's obviously a gamble. Obviously, everything's a gamble, right?
Right.
But that's a stronger gamble than a dog. A dog, you're guaranteeing yourself that you are getting the same love you got day one, basically, and it's not going to get any better than that. Whereas eventually, a child can turn into an adult that can, Anywho,
Yes.
all right, that's
another subject that we will get into when we watch the episode, I'm sure.
I feel like that's something that Asians are still holding strong to, that idea
Of having children like take care of you.
Because Americans have largely been moving away from that for the past 50 years, from what I can tell. Like they're putting their parents into homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There were people having kids later in life. Now people aren't even having kids; they're just having pets. The whole thing about adopting a pet, that really, I don't know how to phrase this, but like that clicked with me because it's annoying. It's annoying that people are having pets, and it's like women don't even have time for relationships. They're like, oh, I gotta take care of my dog. It's like, they don't have a dog yet. Like, maybe don't do that yet. Wait till you have a house and have a husband or something. Like,
I want a dog.
it's a whole responsibility. People don't realize. Like, I had a kid and 2 dogs at the same time, and let me tell you, that was like having 3 children. It was a lot of responsibility. I didn't have time to go out.
So just have one dog.
One dog is a lot of work. If you want a passive pet, you get a cat.
I know, I want a dog.
Yeah, I don't want a cat. I'm just saying, like, that's why I don't have many pets at all. Because I know the responsibility involved. There's a lot. And
Yes,
so
yes.
what I'm trying to say is if you want to experience the feeling of having a kid without having a kid, and your family or your friends won't let you borrow their child, then borrow their pet. I feel like
Yeah.
people are more likely to lend out their pet than their child.
True.
So, there's a way to test the waters on that.
Just road test someone's pet before deciding whether or not you're responsible enough for a child.
That's not an original idea. Friends actually mentioned that, where Phoebe was... Did Phoebe lend someone a pet or someone lent Phoebe a pet? That was something in Friends. I just realized that. It clicked right now. That's a thing. So, obviously that idea's been around for like 20 years. I find it very frustrating how every chick in LA has either a dog or a cat. It's like...
Well, it gets lonely in the city. At least if you have an animal, every time you come home,
So turn
they're
off your phone.
So happy to see you.
Turn off your phone and go outside. If you're lonely, go out and meet people, make friends. So
Maybe you don't like the people.
to me, a dog is the living equivalent of like constantly being high, so that you don't have to deal with the real world.
Wow.
In LA, in LA specifically, we are so disconnected from each other. It feels like it's amazing how many people I'm able to bring on the channel, given how disconnected we are from each other, how much we're so averse to
Yeah.
conversation.
But I think if you had a dog, you would probably pick up chicks in a big bad way.
I probably would.
Yeah.
I'm not that desperate. Not
Chicks
yet.
love dogs.
Give me another year or two, then I'll get desperate. Just to bring it back to this, like I like the topics they tend to bring up, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
In the first 2 seasons, they brought up some relatable stuff. I remember the first episode had me genuinely concerned. Was it this show? It was this show where he messed up the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was genuinely concerned about what was going to happen to him and how that all worked out. It was very interesting. I'm looking forward to all the relatable topics they'll bring up in here
Yes.
and how they show you how these characters might handle it, you know?
Exactly, and how the relationships between the characters have grown and are growing.
Anywho, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I'm sure that many of you have already started watching the show. Do not give any spoilers away in the comments below, please. That would be very, very kind. And we do plan to watch it. So there you go.
So come back and watch it with us.
Yes, check out Achara KIRK on the social media. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, short films, vlogs, and interviews. I am Jaby KOAY. This is
Achara KIRK.
Peace out.